I'm Ashley.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Dakota.
And this is
Whispers in the basement. Okay, so it's going.
Okay, great. Love that for us.
Yeah. So hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. It's our first episode with a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dakota.
Hi.
Who's like the coolest
He is.
on the face of this
Oh
earth.
my gosh, stop. That is so sweet.
We love you.
Well, I love you guys. I'm your biggest fan of the podcast. I've listened to every episode twice.
I know that
so.
makes. Wait, have you listened on the Echo Dot?
No, I've listened on my Apple Music at work.
Okay, so okay.
We're what gets him through the workday.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that makes me feel so happy.
Yeah.
Because we have our own podcasts that get us through the workday.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
100%.
And now we're Dakota's.
Yes. I was waiting for the episode all day yesterday to
I'm
drop.
so sorry. I know. I'm the worst, guys. Yeah. There is another episode that I have not even released yet that we recorded last week.
Well,
So
yeah.
maybe I just do them back to back.
Yeah, do a little twofer.
Ooh, double feature.
I was going to say a 2 for Thursday, but it's not Thursday.
No, it's Friday, thank God.
This is why it hasn't even been posted yet, because my days are
To be fair, it felt like a Monday today.
a Monday. I told Aaron that on Wednesday. I said, I think I have a case of the Mondays. Do you know that movie?
No.
Oh my God. You're fired.
She
Dakota,
never
do you
knows
know
the
that
movies. I don't know that movie.
You're fired too.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
You had the chance to
I think
redeem
it's called
yourself.
Office. No, I don't know the name of the movie.
No.
It's not Office Space, is it?
It might be Office Space.
Oh,
Is
well,
that the
then
one
I
with the
do know that
stapler?
movie. Yes.
Yes, it's
Oh, well,
Office
then I
Space.
do know that movie. I just
Somebody's
didn't
got a
recognize-
case of the Mondays or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to work the evening.
Oh my gosh. So Dakota,
Yes.
as you're drinking the blood of Christ,
Huge shout out to Della and Kevin for providing the wine for
but
today.
for real, Della, I know you don't like sweet wine, but this is, I mean, I'm in love with it. It's pretty bomb.
It's sweet.
It tastes like I said it tastes like an early bedtime or bad decisions.
Also both.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So tell us a little bit about, or tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Dakota. I have been friends with Lauren for, God, going on forever.
Okay, but that's not true because you actually didn't
Oh,
like
well, I
me.
hated her in high school, but we went to preschool together.
Wouldn't? She was kind of, I mean, I'm sure she was kind of a see you next Tuesday.
She definitely
Facts.
was. I was afraid. I was like, she's
You
going.
were afraid.
She was going straight to hell. Like she was a party girl.
It's because my mom always said that, I'll find out anything that you do. And I was like, bet.
So did she?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You were just challenging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I feel like my dad let me get off with things.
Oh, 100%.
Because there was
That's kind of shocking.
no, he was like, if I was grounded, I would get my cell phone back early.
Really?
And, yeah, and there
Yeah.
was one day I showed up home completely stoned. And all I wanted to do was go lay in bed, and he made me get up and do the dishes.
Okay, so the first time I think I ever got stoned out of my fucking mind, I had to go home early for reasons that I would rather not discuss on the podcast. But anyways, I got dropped off, and I think my mom knew something was up because she kept saying, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why?" And I'm just trying to walk from the back door to my bedroom as fast as I can. I was like, "No, it's fine. I'm just tired. I'm just tired.
I'm
just going to my room."
tired, Mom.
Why are you acting so weird? I'm like, I'm not. I'm just tired.
And I just need 5 pizzas. Calm down.
For real, though. Pancakes with peanut butter.
Oh my God, that sounds
Almost had.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Day's good.
But now as a parent, are you you understand your mom being why are you acting weird?
No.
Oh, well, I guess because your kids aren't old enough to probably experiment with stuff like that yet.
I mean, I think I would have known. I don't know. But I don't think my mom ever did drugs, so
are
maybe
you
that's
high
why.
right now?
Yeah.
Do
No,
you
I
know
just...
where your children are?
Oh, that's so funny. No, I don't know. I know. So yeah, Dakota, he's also an actor.
Yes, I do a lot of community theater stuff in Columbia, and it's a lot of fun. I just do it to pass the time.
I think it's so cool.
I think it's cool. Yeah. You're a little mini celebrity, a micro
Oh
celebrity.
my gosh. I'm going to be... No. I don't think of myself as that way, but I don't know. It's cool. It's fun. It's a hobby.
Yeah, I think it's but I think it's cool because I never did it. B, I don't know if I could do it now. It takes a lot of guts.
It does.
And C, Memphis is really into theater, so I just think it's so cool.
I tell you, I can go on stage and be super confident and feel chill, but walking down to do this podcast, my nerves are like so high. It's so weird how that is.
No, because the first time we did it, it was kind of the same way.
Oh, no, I think that, yeah.
And really all you're doing is having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just recorded.
Yeah. But it felt so awkward the first time.
Yes.
It got better though.
Well, but it did help the first day that there was like a lady with a gun running around Missouri or Moberly.
Very true.
That's motivation right
It
there.
was motivation because it was something easy to talk about instead of doing the.
But every like sound in the house
was her coming into the
yeah,
house.
Lauren would be like in the middle of recording. She'd be like, "Oh my god, I thought that was that lady coming into your house." I'm like, "No, I think we're good."
Why Ashley's house of all of them? It was just that was the
How
house.
convenient. That's the one house you're in.
But how cool would that have been had it really been her?
Okay, it would have been
Because then
a legendary.
we could have like that would have been our first podcast. Was like,
that
okay, that actually
would have been
really
pretty cool.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Gosh, what's wrong with us? You know how cool it'd be if a woman with a gun came into our house that we didn't know?
I feel like we could have handled
We're so
it.
desensitized.
Yeah, also true.
Well,
but we
that's
could
true.
have handled it.
Oh, 100%. You could have taken her.
Yeah, I think so. Louis would have taken her out.
Louis would have just barked the whole time.
That's very-
He would have been like, "Arr!"
She might have been a little scared. Doubtful.
Was Tessa still here?
Yes.
Yeah, Tessa would have just been like big snoozing on her cot.
Yep. She had not yet passed away.
R.I.P. to all of our dogs at this point.
Oh,
For
gosh.
real.
Oh, I was telling Dakota the other day. Okay, so did I tell you about the last time that Dakota was at my house and a bird hit my window?
Oh,
I legit thought about that after Sage passed. I
yes.
said to because my dad is the same way.
yes.
He is very superstitious, and birds hit our windows a lot because I live in a 2-story house. So, but yeah, after Sage died, I remembered. I was like, oh my gosh, Dakota said.
I did. And I hate that I said it now because I didn't mean to bring that bad luck onto you. But it was also your birthday, so, it was totally inevitable.
Absolutely. The birthday curse. I
Always.
don't know what it is.
Don't ever plan anything for your birthday, okay? Just like chill at home.
We have we've done stuff in the past, and remember that one year we went to Tennessee, and it was fine, but then the day of your birthday we went rafting.
And Thomas split his head, and I was so pissed.
Yes, and he had to go to the emergency room, and our whole day was ruined, and then it rained.
And I was so pissed because I was like, of course, like Kevin's neediest kid. Like, Kevin's gonna listen to this, and I'm so sorry, but I was so mad at
This
Thomas.
gives
Kevin.
like a whole like new picture to the "It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want to" song.
We watched all of the Saw movies because there was nothing else to do because he was in the hospital. It was pouring rain. I remember Della tried to make everything better by making this cake for you, and she could not get the candles to light as we were singing Happy Birthday. And I literally was just looking at you with big doe eyes like, I'm so sorry.
Poor
It's true.
Lorraine.
It happens. It's okay.
Poor Lorraine.
It's fine.
I mean, it was all right. We made up for it when we went in the canoe and tipped it.
We did, yeah. And then I peed my pants.
I love a good pee your pants story.
Okay, so I was responding to you and Peyton in the group chat with a video earlier, and I don't know why it was so funny, but like I was talking and I kept like turning it over to Dakota because I was including him in the conversation. So the first time I turned it towards Dakota, he did the like and so then I'm keeping going with the conversation and I turn it back to Dakota and Dakota goes and I was like, I feel like a mommy
And
blogger
since
right now.
no one can see what Lauren's doing,
She's waving.
I was just waving at the camera like, a normal human would. She lost her shit.
But twice. It just reminded me of being a mommy blogger and the kids in the background like, I'm just excited to be in your video.
Yeah, just randomly.
I was fucking crying. I tried to redo it twice and then finally I just started
She had to give
texting.
up because she was weeping at the thought of this.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
I feel like you get the same way when you start telling stories about people passing out.
Also true. Whatever I tagged you in my story.
I came across that and I was like, that motherfucking bitch. I swear to God. Not really though. I'm not really calling her a bitch, Darcy.
Oh no.
No, Darcy will. He'll.
He's like, you guys are so mean to each other. I'm like, what are you talking about?
But it's all out of fun.
If you don't softcore bully your best friend, are you even friends?
I use the word bitch as like a term of endearment too.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
Bitch. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, I was going to share the fun fact I had.
Oh, okay.
So
Go.
we haven't talked about this, but listening to the podcast, Ashley, I know that you're a huge fan of this, and I am also a huge fan of this. I love to watch QVC.
Are you fucking with me right now?
No, I literally do. There's nothing better.
Okay, but why do you love it?
Because I honestly, okay, there's a lot of different elements to it. Of course, the products, because it's like you can find good deals, honestly, low
And
key.
they are like high dollar things.
Absolutely. But my favorite part are the awkward models.
Yes. Yes. Or some of the awkward products.
Yes.
Sometimes. Okay, so do you know who Sean is?
Yes.
Okay, so there was this one. They were doing the God, what are they called? They're like the face shaver things.
Oh,
You know
yes.
what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
like the twinkle razors?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
and she was on the show with one of the guys, and she was like, these things are so, and because Sean gets so super excited about
yes.
every product that she sells.
Oh, yes.
And she was talking about these are so cool, you can like shave your sideburns, but she had her like co-host turn around and she was like legit shaving the back of his neck live on TV. And Aaron was like, what the fuck are we watching?
Oh my
and I was like,
God.
I don't know, but it makes me
What?
want to buy it. 'Cause
What a
it's-
time to be tuning in.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Or the awkward phone calls that come through.
Yes. Okay, so there's a guy on TikTok. I don't know if you all have seen, but he does the calls, but like acts them out as the actual people in their homes.
Oh my gosh, no, I need to.
The next time I find one, I'll send it to you because it is hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Well,
But
I'm glad
he's
that
not
we
the
share.
caller. He just like mimics the callers.
He just mimics them because these are all from like, the 90s or early 2000s.
Oh, okay. So they don't do the callers anymore.
They still do,
They do.
sometimes, but
Okay.
they're not as frequent
No.
as what they used to be.
Well, and
Okay.
these were so unhinged. And, I'm Ethel with my 42 cats, and I just love the show.
at 12:30 in the morning.
Yes. Yes, ordering 18 of the same product that
Yeah,
you're selling.
I got it in every color
It's
and
classic.
every size because, I fluctuate. It's so funny.
It's literally, there's so many iconic reasons why QVC is the best, especially
Mm-hmm.
watching it late at night.
Absolutely. So there's it's Kim Gravel.
Yes,
fucking
from
love Kim.
that Housewives, right?
Is she
The
a housewife?
Real Housewives of New Jersey.
So she looks like one, but she's gorgeous and I just love her.
Yes.
I just love her.
And Lisa Rinna when she comes on there to sell her little cardigans.
Yeah. Yeah. They're so cute though.
They are cute.
They
They're
are so-
flowy.
Yeah,
I thought
they
you were
are.
gonna say you owned one.
No. What I really want to buy, and I almost did it the other night, but I'm trying not to get in debt anymore because the world's gonna end. It was Barefoot Dreams.
Oh yes,
Barefoot
the
Dream stuff.
cardigan.
Oh no, they had like joggers,
Ooh.
hoodies. For a pair of joggers, it's $150.
Oh my gosh.
But I was like, it's fine. We'll just put it on that credit card with 40% APR.
No big. No big.
No, not at all. I'm rich, bitch.
I was telling Dakota about like my spending habits.
Her shopping addictions.
It gets bad.
I know.
It's so easy.
I watched a girl drink out of those Anthropology cups this morning, and so
Did
I
you
had
buy
to order
them?
two.
Oh my God, Lorraine. It's okay.
know.
It's okay.
Well, and then the Lilani New Witch's Brew, it's like a limited flavor.
Oh, yes.
It just released yesterday.
I remember you talking about it on the podcast.
So I ordered 4 cases.
Did you
yesterday.
see also there's, just to like amp up your spending, did you see there's also a nail polish that goes with the colors off the Alani?
Yes. I think I saw that in the Mooncat.
You should probably buy it.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good at this point.
Buy it.
Buy it. Buy it.
Buy.
Did that remind you to buy
Yeah.
it, baby?
Yeah.
Because I ordered her a case too, so
Love it.
yes.
Well, you need to have them for fall.
They're so aesthetically pleasing. I got the
of course.
orange one with the black cat, and then I got the purple one with the yellow moon.
Oh, they come with different thingies?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Everyone
Did
needs
you not
to
look at the
order
link
one.
I sent you?
I just saw the picture and I saw it said Witch's Brew and I was like, oh yeah, that's really good.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the Anthropology cups.
Oh, yeah, I looked at those. It's a cup.
I know.
I have
don't need
1,000 of 'em.
I know I don't need them, but they're cute.
Brought to you by Stanley.
Yeah. But for real though. For real. What was another one that was really big? Corksicle.
Oh, yeah, Corksicle.
I don't remember that.
I have a Corksicle. I have another one
God.
that's really weird too. It starts with an O.
Owala.
Yep, I have one of those.
I have an Owala.
Do you?
Yeah.
They're really cool. They took off shortly after.
Is there one modern something?
There's Simply Modern. There's Hydro Jug. There's Brewmate.
I can't.
Hydro Flask was another big one.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that was the first one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Those fucking cups.
Yep.
I brought my new one whenever I went to go visit Seth, and he was like, "When did you get this one?" He was like, "Because last time I saw you, you had the new purple one. It's like, I got a new Brewmate. Is it Brewmate?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
How much did you spend on this cup?
Yeah.
It was $40. It's not anything.
Oh, well.
You know what,
$40
though?
is nothing.
If
For
we're
a
being-
cup.
If we're being honest, Aaron's got like whatever Ozark,
Yeah.
whatever.
Ozark. Yes, I have a few of those.
That one actually keeps your ice cold
Yes. It
does.
longer than a Stanley.
It does, and it costs $20 at Walmart.
Yeah.
I know. I have
Yeah.
one too, and I use mine all the time.
So
I
does
use
he.
it more than my Stanley.
Yeah, I often find myself drinking out of his water thing
Well,
versus mine.
if it's ice cold, it's ice cold.
100%, man.
That's true. That is
yeah.
so true.
It's just the others are pretty.
It's true.
And I feel like whenever you go in the office and you're like, oh, when'd you get your cup? And you're like, I got the new one that everyone's seen on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't feel that way about cups.
You
No,
don't?
I don't
sometimes
either.
do. Okay. Well,
No,
I
in
think
fact-
it's because I don't compete with clothes.
Oh, I mean, I don't really either, but I will buy clothes more than anything. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you found those sites that do like Sezzle?
Sizzle.
Yeah, I think it's Sezzle.
Oh,
They make,
yeah,
like,
that
do,
new
like,
payment thingy.
or Afterpay.
Yes, I signed up for that
It'll get you
Sezzle
in.
or whatever, but I didn't use it because I'm like, this is a slippery slope.
It will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Real fucking quick.
Yeah, so I definitely signed up for it and then deleted the app because I'm like, no, they gave me a $750 credit. I'm like, this is not a good idea.
No, that is not a good idea. That's unreal. $750.
I'm so glad you realized that though, because I would have been like, oh, that's fine.
I'll just
Totally
buy
fine.
everything.
And then in 3 months, I'm like, how the fuck did I manage to get $750 racked up?
And it's just like Amazon.
nothing of
everything
value.
else.
Yeah.
But I felt really cool getting something in the mail.
Yes, because I've checked my mail twice since he's been at my
She's
house.
a- Obsessed.
I do. I get the same way. I'm like constantly checking my emails too. Like, has my nail polish shipped?
Is something on its way?
Yeah.
See, and I don't buy online. I don't shop online, so it's very funny to me. Like whenever I talk to anybody, it's like, "Oh, I ordered this online," and like I can't relate to that because I'm like, I don't want to wait for it. I want the instant gratification of having it now.
I get this.
Yeah.
I get the same way. I do get the same way, but I still order shit online.
Yeah.
If I know I can get it somewhere else closer,
Yes.
I'll do it.
Yes.
But there's other things that I do order online,
Yeah, that's true.
like the nail polish.
The nail polish, well, because you can't get it anywhere else.
It's true. And then I get
yeah.
really ticked off when they're like, shipping time is 7 to 21 business days. I'm like, God damn it! It's like it's gonna be 2 months before
That's
I
a
get
long
that.
time.
It's a very long
Yeah.
time.
I wouldn't even order it. I'd be like, oh, I'll just wait.
No, because it's all pre-ordered. Because they like create the nail polish
Oh, I
as
see.
you.
So it's like, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's like buy on
demand.
buy on demand.
Kind of like
basically.
today when you pre-ordered Twisters and we don't even know when it's coming out and you just bought it.
Well, I knew I was gonna buy the movie anyway,
True,
so
true.
it was fine.
You didn't want to buy long legs?
That movie is so
Well,
good.
I don't think I can. I still can't watch it yet, so I didn't want to pre-order it.
I don't even know if it's out to.
It's not. It's still in the theaters. Have you not seen it yet?
I did see it.
It's so good.
It was really fucking weird.
I loved it.
How
I
did-
loved it.
how
It
did you-
scared me. Like, and
I was not scared.
it
It takes a lot to scare me.
Same. It takes a lot to scare me. I haven't seen a good horror movie in a really long time, and when we came home from seeing that, because Scott went with me and he loved it. Scott's my boyfriend, everyone. And he he loved it, and I was like, yeah, it scared me. He's like, oh, it wasn't that scary. And the more I just sat there and thought about it, it just made me even more uncomfortable.
It's definite. What did I? It's psychological.
Yes.
Psychological thriller. It makes you think. Because I literally walked out of the theater and was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Oh, absolutely. Nicolas Cage deserves an Oscar, though. He was fantastic.
Did he not look scary as shit?
Oh, he terrified me. That first...
He looked like Marilyn Manson.
The opening scene,
but
I was
nowadays.
like, I need to buckle up because I'm not prepared. And that was terrifying.
She is the birthday girl.
No, so creepy, honestly.
Mommy! Daddy!
It was so... I forgot about that part. That's really, yeah. Or when he just like bashed his head into the, sorry if I'm giving it away, bashed his head into the desk. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was insane. So good.
Craziness.
Crazy.
Well, Dakota wrote the
Yeah.
script for today's episode. I guess you can introduce it because I don't even really know how to explain it.
Okay, so I wanted to cover like cursed films, like not like The Ring, because people think, oh, The Ring, no. Cursed films being that something bad happened on the set of these films or happened to people that were involved in the films later on, which a lot of people say, oh, then it's cursed. So I'm sure everyone's heard of a movie.
Yes,
yes, absolutely.
Got like a reputation for being cursed. So I just kind of wanted to dive into some of those today. I thought it would be fun. Thought it would be kind of cool and different if people didn't know about this. And I think it's super interesting.
Yes.
So,
Okay, hit us.
And here's where we have a very awkward split because Lauren got a phone call and we had to pause. So this is the aftermath.
Rosa, it's Chill, the babysitter.
Oh my God. Which episode was that?
Oh, that's when a stranger calls.
Yeah, the one A Stranger Calls
Was
episode.
that like episode 4?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just know that's a long, ongoing joke with me and Lauren.
Because I think you mentioned it.
I feel like I did
You
mention
did.
it
You
early
did.
on,
You
too.
did.
You were
You
like,
yeah, you talked
it's a
about
running
it.
joke between.
Yes, and every time I walk into a room, Rosa, it's Jill, the babysitter.
While Rosa was feeding the fucking birds in the like little room in the, it's just, yeah. After doing that episode, the house
Makes no sense.
no sense. You should come over tonight and watch it.
So yes, the cursed films. So I picked 4 different ones. I mean, it's hard to find them because a lot of them are horror movies, but I did pick one that wasn't because not a lot of people watch horror movies or like them. But everybody knows about family and kids movies, especially one from 1939 starring Judy Garland.
Is it The Wizard of Oz?
Ding, ding, ding! 500 points! So, I mean, I feel like everyone knows, but The Wizard of Oz is a fantasy movie from 1939, and it stars Judy Garland as Dorothy, and she gets swept away in a tornado and thrown into Oz, and she meets all kinds of different and fun characters on her way back home to Kansas.
I really don't think I knew that it was from 1939. Like, I knew it was
1939.
older, but
It was
Yes.
one of the first that used Technicolor.
It was, and it was so hot on the set because of all the lights with that. But it already had kind of like a bad pre-production process. It changed directors 3 times.
wow.
It was in post-development hell forever. So it's really interesting to hear about all the different stories. Some of the big ones with that started off really early. Actor Buddy Ebsen was actually supposed to be the Tin Man in the movie. However, on the first or second day of filming, he started having a reaction to his skin. He was allergic to the makeup that the Tin Man had to put on, and he had to drop out of the movie because he could not go on with that reaction and the
irritation,
irritation. So they had Jack Haley play the Tin Man, which is interesting to me because it's like back then they had all of these weird things that they used to make a movie that we wouldn't think of. I mean, the snow and the poppy scene had...
It was asbestos.
It wasn't all asbestos,
but it had asbestos.
It did have
in it.
asbestos in it.
And they're like rolling in it.
No way.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy.
I did hear a story about the first Tin Man and how he got sick and he was hospitalized. I did hear a story about how the director or the producer, somebody higher up, was pissed
Oh yeah, I'm
that
sure.
he got sick.
Yeah.
Because that was like during the days of old Hollywood too, and they just like worked their actors
Yes.
to death.
And he was a huge name at the time.
Yes.
So he was like, and you know, Judy Garland was a nobody. So they were really taking a big gamble with having her play the lead role. So they were trying to bring all these other well-known character actors in to be secondary to
yeah.
her. So people would still come see the movie because everyone anticipated it was going to be a flop because she was an unknown actress.
Right.
And so, I mean, they were really nervous about that. And of course, being a new actress and having to work on this film that took hours, a lot of people say that this is the reason why Judy Garland went to an early grave. She got addicted to a lot of medication, uppers to keep her awake, to keep shooting, downers to let her sleep for 2 hours. She was on a very strict diet, so she would stay in the Dorothy costume and they wouldn't have to keep buying different costumes. It was hell for her, and she was only 16, 17 years old whenever they filmed this.
Wow, I don't even think that I realized that she was that young.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think Dorothy was supposed to be like 12,
Yeah.
like a little girl.
Yeah.
And so they wanted
Oh.
her to look like a little girl
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
And I like to say, because I don't want people to come for me, but I am no Wizard of Oz expert. This is just stuff I've heard and I've read. If you all know other things different, you know, you can let me know. But
yeah.
this is
Nobody's
just...
going to come for you because nobody's came for us for any of the incorrect stuff that we probably have spewed on this.
Valid.
Just saying.
It's really interesting. You know, the stuff with Judy Garland was crazy. But another thing that was really interesting with this was Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch. She actually had a really bad accident one of her first days of filming. It was the scene where she's in Munchkinland and she disappears into a cloud of smoke. And what it was supposed to be is they lit this fire. It was real. It was a real flame. And she was supposed to drop down under a trap door underneath the set to keep her out of harm's way. Well, when they did the first take and it went off without a hitch, but they wanted to do one more. And on the second take, her trap door didn't open, so she didn't go down. She had that green makeup on, which was extremely flammable, and she caught fire. She suffered burns on her face and her hands, 3rd degree, and she was hospitalized for 6 weeks. So that is why I think, personally, her scenes, she's really not in The Wizard of Oz that much when you look at it.
That's so true.
She's the main villain, but I think I read that she has 13 minutes of screen time.
That sounds
movie.
pretty valid, actually, when you think about it.
And I'm wondering if that had something to do with it, because I've read the book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and she's more prominent in the book, whereas in the movie she's not. So I think maybe that had something to do with it. And then whenever she came back from the hospital, they wanted her to record the Surrender Dorothy scene where she's flying in the sky and spelling out Surrender Dorothy. She refused to do it. She didn't want to get near it because it had smoke coming out of it, and she was like, I'm not doing it. So her stunt double, Betty Danko, got on the broom, started doing the scene, and it exploded. And so her stunt double was also hospitalized.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I think I read she had a hole in her leg.
Yes, it was not good. It like I said, cursed. A lot of people say it's cursed. And then another big thing is, and I don't really know if this is more legend or true, but apparently in one of the scenes where they're dancing in the forest, you can see a munchkin hanging in the background. I've tried to analyze it. I've heard some people say that it is a munchkin. A lot of people say it's an exotic bird that they released on set. I don't know. I can't see it. I've paused it. I've watched it in slow motion. I can't really see anything.
Like hanging like by its neck, or
it's like kind of swinging.
I think it's supposed to be in the scene right after the Wicked Witch appears on the roof.
Yes, and throws the fireball.
Yeah, is that it when they get the Tin Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting. Some crazy things about The Wizard of Oz that are a little darker, because when you're watching the movie, you would have never thought.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's an old movie. It's a kid's movie. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I thought that was an interesting one that I just wanted to kind of talk about. But
I also don't even know if I'd look at The Wizard of Oz as a kids movie to me.
I mean,
I think we watched it definitely as kids growing up.
I mean, it's fantasies.
yeah. And it's a book.
And it's a musical. They have
that is
music in
true.
there. So, and, you know, during that time, I think it was hard for movies to be classified as certain things.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, that was the same year that Gone with the Wind came out. And how do you describe Gone with the Wind? Is that a romance? Is that a
really
drama?
It's a really long movie.
It is. It's one of my favorites.
It's a great movie.
But, yeah, who knows how to classify it? It has so many different genres. So.
That is
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That is
So.
a good one. That is a good one.
Do you think that, like, The Wizard of Oz will continue to be as, like, legendary as it is for us
Yeah.
in future generations even?
Absolutely, because it's still so current. I mean, everybody knows the ruby slippers.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're a part of the Smithsonian.
Yes.
The ruby slippers are in the Smithsonian. And I feel like, speaking of Gone with the Wind, a lot of the movie theaters now will do showings on the anniversaries of really like classical movies. Because
Yes.
I saw Gone with the Wind on the big screen twice.
Okay.
And there were a lot of people in the
yeah.
crowd for those.
Well, who wouldn't want to see an old movie like that on
Yeah.
the big screen? Like
We did-
Titanic, they do that every few years too, and
I saw The Never Ending Story on its 40th anniversary on the big screen.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, that
So I
would be.
think it just like, and there were a ton of kids in the theater for that one. So I think that, and like my mom grew up with that's her favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz. But like for our generation, I feel like we cling to nostalgia a
Yes.
little
do.
bit more.
Oh, of course.
And so we're trying to teach our kids
Yes.
nostalgia.
Right.
Seth and I were like rewatching SpongeBob whenever I was visiting him, like from the very beginning. And I was just like, we
the
were like
classic
laying on
episodes
the
are-
classic episodes that like you still will like talk about to these days.
Yes.
Like, and you have your inside jokes about it. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking like, wow, like if we have a kid, like we're going to make sure that our kid knows like what gold this cartoon was.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I sit there and think, I'm like, Scooby-Doo. I mean, how
I
iconic.
was
is-
literally just gonna
and
say my
that's
kids
from-
were raised on Scooby-Doo.
And that's from the 60s.
And
Like
the
the old
Jetsons.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
gosh, the
Jetsons.
And
Jetsons.
the
Yeah.
Flintstones, they're another big
Yeah.
one. So I think, like, definitely those type of things, yes, there's TV shows, but I feel like they're more, I don't know, they have like that.
Well, and if we're being honest here, movies that are made nowadays, they're not like they used to be.
Oh, no.
That we're doing a lot of like remakes
And it's
you know.
very, and anything that's made, I mean, you know, it's fake. It's CGI. A lot
Yeah.
of it, they didn't have that in 1939. Why do you
Yeah.
think Margaret Hamilton caught on fire?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they didn't have another choice to make that look realistic.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of cool how that,
For
the
sure.
practical effects.
For
and,
sure.
I mean, that's what they're doing with the Beetlejuice movie. They're still using all practical effects. And I'm like, yeah.
I do love
So
that.
cool. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was the first one. The next one is one I feel like a lot of people kind of know about, the Omen curse. If you don't know, the Omen is about a movie about a couple that adopts or has? I can't remember.
Is this the good son, bad son?
No, this is just when they
one
have the
son.
kid and it's the devil. But I don't know if the mom gives birth or if they adopt him. I
thought
can't
that
remember.
It was an adoption, but I could
Maybe
be
it was
wrong.
an
I'll
adoption.
look.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Okay. But it's about they adopt or have this kid and it turns out to be the devil or the son of the devil. So kind of bad stuff follows him wherever he goes. Kind of the story is the Omen curse began in September 1975. Lead actor Gregory Peck was flying to London, and during the flight, lightning struck the airplane. Odd, yes, but it's not unheard of. Shortly after, executive producer Mace Newfield's plane was also struck by lightning while en route to Los Angeles. That's twice in a span of only a few weeks. Then, writer David Seltzer's plane was also struck by lightning, and while filming in Rome, lightning narrowly missed striking producer Harvey Bernhard. Lightning may never strike twice, but 4 times to different people whose only 6 degrees of separation at the time was the Omen. I think that's pretty eerie.
That is so eerie.
I was gonna say third time's a charm. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have. that one shouldn't have happened.
No, I agree. Okay, so I found out that it says the film's plot follows Damien Thorne, a young child replaced at birth by his father, unbeknownst to his wife, after their biological child died shortly after birth.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Okay. I couldn't remember. The planned filming of an action scene for The Omen was delayed, which happens. It's no big deal. This meant that Peck was not needed on set, so a private jet that the crew was going to charter to bring Peck in was not necessary. The next day, news arrived that must have sent chills down the spine of the entire cast and crew. According to the previously cited CBS News article, the plane that had intended to book hit a flock of birds and crashed, killing everyone on board.
No, man, I would be like covered wagoning myself everywhere from there on out.
I'd be like taking sage and the holy water.
I'm not setting foot on a fucking plane.
Did you see that a plane crashed today? It literally fell out of the sky in Brazil with like 62 passengers.
With somebody from The Omen on it.
Why would you tell me that?
Are you getting on a plane?
I think I'm supposed to next year. Aren't we supposed to next year?
I mean, I am for sure. I don't know about for work.
No, I thought we were supposed to go to Texas.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, well, it happened in Brazil, so probably not any of our airlines.
It's still fucking
Sorry.
scary. God.
It's
And here you were
terrifying.
telling me it's just like Jell-O.
It usually is just like Jell-O, the turbulence.
Well, and there's even more to that plane crash.
Okay, go.
Because the plane fell and struck a car driving along the road as it came crashing down, killing everyone in the car. The people that were in the car, the wife and 2 children of the plane's pilot.
No way!
And that was the
my
plane
God.
that the cast and crew from The Omen was supposed to take, but they got delayed. So isn't that crazy?
I feel like I feel like this is like Sims.
Yeah.
And maybe whoever's controlling Sims is like, nope, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Bad vibes. See ya.
Well, and there's actually so much more. Like The Omen is it's craziness. At the time of filming in London, at the time of filming, London was under a rash. I don't know why you wrote this. I'm sorry. Rash of explosions set by the IRA. So sadly, it wasn't uncommon. What was uncommon was 2 incidents that again struck people associated with the film. Mace Neufeld, probably already on edge after his plane was struck by lightning, was planning to eat at a restaurant nearby, but apparently no seats were available after a bomb gutted it. The day after filming, the hotel that director Richard Donner had stayed at was also bombed.
Oh.
It's like bad luck. It's like a rain cloud just following all these people associated
Like, at
with
what
the
point
film.
are you like,
I wonder how many
I'm good?
how many birds they had hit their house.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Well,
Or the plane.
yeah,
Yeah.
the plane.
Oh my God.
The most tragic event that was tied to the Omen curse, however, would befall Liz Moore. She was the assistant to John Richardson, who was the special effects designer for the film. The pair were driving through the Netherlands and along the way were involved in a horrific car accident. Richardson escaped with minor injuries, but Moore was decapitated by a tire that smashed into their car. That fact is sickening enough, but there's a ghastly parallel to the movie itself. In one scene, a photographer who's helping Robert Thorne research Damien's origins, Keith Jennings, is killed when he is decapitated by a sheet of glass that falls off of a construction vehicle while driving. And if that wasn't creepy enough, the accident occurred on August 13th, 1976, Friday. August 13th, by a road sign that indicated it was 66.6 kilometers away from the town of Omen.
Oh, no way. So this just reminded me of a highway. I think it's like 666 highway. And all of the accidents that happen on that highway. We'll have to dig into that one
would
sometime.
be, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that wild? Like, when I was looking, I knew about some of those, but I didn't realize all the details about the last one.
Oh
No,
my
that's very
gosh.
creepy.
And I remembered that, because the scene in the movie, I remember that. And I remember hearing about the car crash, but I didn't realize it was on Friday the 13th and 66.6 kilometers away from the town of Omen.
Oh, no.
Like, what?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got no words for that one.
Nope.
Well, then I guess we'll segue to the next one, which is The Exorcist. The Exorcist is actually one of my favorite horror movies. I think it is one of the scariest movies ever made, about a young girl that becomes possessed by the devil and has to be exorcised.
Exorcise the demons.
Exorcise them, and not by Richard Simmons.
R.I.P. Honestly.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I
he
forgot about that.
did die.
Yeah.
Sad.
So sad.
Sweating to the oldies. Oh, iconic.
He was actually pretty iconic.
The Exorcist was overwhelmed by controversy when it was released in 1973. Rumors surrounded it about disturbing things that happened on the set during filming. There were reports of audiences getting sick and fainting when they went to see it, on-set accidents, a mysterious fire, and even a murder all took place while the film was being made. These things raised questions at the time, and some come to believe the Exorcist movie itself was cursed. Even today, The Exorcist holds a certain allure and power that may be more than just an urban legend. On set, there were several injuries, including long-term back injuries for both Linda Blair, who played the possessed girl Regan, and Ellen Burstyn, who played Regan's mother. There was also a fire that burned down most of the set, except for Regan's bedroom, which filmmakers thought was very strange. On top of that, a man who played a nurse in the film killed a reporter before The Exorcist was released. He was quick to confess the crime, but couldn't provide police a motive for why he did it.
Oh.
Very weird.
That is very weird.
And I couldn't really, I tried to dig on that one. I couldn't find too much information. I don't even know what the guy's name was, so I would like to know more about that, but I didn't get on TikTok, and I feel like that's how you get to know everything, so maybe that's where I
TikTok
failed.
is seriously like
That's
such
the
a wealth of knowledge.
The dictionary.
It really
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty crazy.
That is so crazy.
When The Exorcist was released, it was the highest grossing film of the time, but audiences reported having physical reactions to it, such as fainting and vomiting. One woman blamed a miscarriage on the film.
Go
Right?
off, I guess. Yeah.
Right? It was said that anyone could be possessed by the film just by watching that. And it gave evil a path to corrupt human souls. The devil.
The devil.
Dark-sided.
It was
It's given dark-sided vibes.
very,
the accent.
very sinister. Very sinister.
Sinister.
It was protested in some cities and banned in parts of the United Kingdom. Groups waiting in line outside theaters sometimes broke out into violence. None of these rumors, however, prevented the film from finding success. It is because of these incidents and rumors that The Exorcist is one of the most notorious and perhaps scariest cursed films of all time.
Wow. You know, I do feel like probably all of the people's like protest against it
Yeah.
made it more appealing.
Well, yeah,
True.
because you tell me I can't do. You tell me I can't eat those cookies on the
I'ma do
counter.
it.
I'm gonna grab a cookie.
For sure.
So and I think too that the filmmakers at the time loved it. I mean, who doesn't want
It was made in
controversy?
73?
73.
Which was because Rosemary's Baby was kind of the same.
Yes.
And it came out before that, I think.
Yes. And I had Rosemary's Baby on my list, but I decided to not talk about that. And I should have, because I'm named after the building that Rosemary's Baby was filmed at, the Dakota. That's my namesake. So I'm like, I should have talked
You
about
should have
Rosemary's
talked
Baby.
about that.
But it's wild. I feel like back then you had to get any type of publicity you could get.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure.
So
You want a nugget of info? Wait,
do.
are you done with it?
I'm done with The Exorcist.
Okay, I'm going to give you a nugget of info.
Give me
First
all
off,
the nuggets. 10 piece.
I have the same feeling about not watching all scary movies, but just specific ones like Paranormal Activity. I refused to watch that one for the longest time, and the Conjuring ones.
Oh.
I've watched them now, but I was very skeptical about watching them at first just because I had that mindset of, for whatever reason, with these ones, I felt like if you watched it, it was just like opening a door
Yeah.
Yeah.
to things like that happening in your life. So I understand that, like, especially in the 70s when it, we were going through,
Satanic panic.
and like
Oh, yeah.
serial killers were, we were starting to profile them and
Well-
things like that. So
And The Exorcist, it's scary.
Yeah.
I think it's scary.
Yeah. anything that has to do with religion, I think is
terrifying.
scary.
Well, you're throwing in religion, but you're also throwing this on a 12-year-old girl
Oh, for
that's being
sure.
possessed. I mean,
Well, especially because children are supposed to be like kind of
Innocent.
like the
and
purest.
and some of the, it's graphic. It's real. Have you seen The Exorcist?
Yes.
Okay, it's brutal.
So here's my nugget of info. The film, The Exorcist, was inspired by the real-life exorcism of a 14-year-old boy in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, I heard about that.
In 1949. And I think they did the exorcism at a hospital. And they have, I think, since then demolitioned the hospital down. But my husband has a friend of a friend that has a part of the wall of the room where that exorcism was performed.
Spooky.
Nope, that is a hard no. What was the one that the like spooky house that had all of the relics in it?
It was
it the Hill House?
It was it was
Ooh,
the
the Hill
real
House,
Hill House.
Yeah, because Dakota was like, we should go there. And I was like, no, sir, I'm good with that bad juju.
She collects them and puts them up in the attic and stuff. I'm like, oh, no, girl.
Yeah, there's already like a portal there, and you're just dragging more
yeah,
stuff to
I'm
make
good.
that portal even bigger.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
It's wild.
I would be the person that it would get attached to, and then there would be a new exorcism
Who
movie
would
about
everyone attaches themselves to you, so why wouldn't demons?
me. Exactly. Honestly. It'd get annoyed with me, though. And be like...
They'd be like, do we have to hear this song that you're scream singing again?
Facts, honestly.
The very last film that I wanted to talk about is another iconic one that I feel like a lot of people know. Poltergeist, which is a wild movie. I didn't think it was scary when I had watched it. I was a kid. It was actually one of the first scary movies I ever watched.
Okay.
But the clown doll fucked me up. But, you know, it's a clown, so...
Valid.
Released in 1982, the original Poltergeist, directed by Tobe Hooper, and produced by Spielberg, was an instant success and considered a masterpiece of American horror cinema. The film focuses on the Freelings, a middle-class family whose life is upturned when a number of paranormal and vicious events occur in their California home, and their daughter Carol Ann is abducted through her bedroom closet by a group of ghosts who are under the control of a monster demon called the Beast. After learning that their house sits atop a Native American burial ground, the Freelings spend their time attempting to retrieve Carol Ann and all the while stay sane as they get smacked around, terrorized, and ultimately goobered on in the bathtub. With Poltergeist's success came a creepy mystique that the classic film is shrouded in real-life tragedies that some interpret as a curse. The majority of the fuel for the alleged curse stems from the deaths of multiple cast members. In total, 4 cast members died during and soon after the filming of the series. 2 of these tragic deaths were highly unexpected and puzzling, leading many fans to speculate on the trilogy's eerie, incomplete... Wow. I don't know. I
get it. I think both of us have had those moments where you're like,
why did I write that?
Yes. Or
And
what was
Where
I
was
trying
I?
to
Yeah,
say?
where was
Well,
I going with that?
I wrote this and I'm like, why did I make this so wordy? I could have just said, this girl gets sucked up in the closet, y'all.
She did, yeah.
Yep.
You know who else, but you want to know who really scared me out of that movie? It was the old lady. The short old lady.
This house is clean.
Yeah, with the southern, I think she had a little bit of a southern
I can't
accent.
even do her voice. It's so unique.
Yeah, she creeped me out.
I
That was the
loved
only
her.
thing that creeped me out about
I
that.
thought she was iconic. I'm like,
What was her
yes,
name?
girl.
What was that little girl's name?
Oh, the little girl?
The
little girl's Carol Ann.
Yeah,
and
Carol Ann.
Yes.
Carol Ann, come towards the light.
No, that's
her.
actually, I think, very accurate. about her.
Carol Ann. I just remember.
I
Yeah,
love her.
yeah, she creeped me out.
Carol Ann, who we were just talking about, the young focal point of the series, was played by Heather O'Rourke. Only 6 years old when the first Poltergeist film was released, O'Rourke captivated audience with her stark blonde hair, doll-like appearance, and big eyes. Sadly, however, she was misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease in 1987. The following year, O'Rourke fell ill again, and her symptoms were casually attributed to the flu. A day later, she collapsed and suffered a cardiac arrest. After being airlifted to a children's hospital in San Diego, O'Rourke died during an operation to correct a bowel obstruction, and it was later believed that she had been suffering from a God, why do I do this to myself? It was an
abnormality.
Wow. Guys, I swear I'm educated. I promise. I just can't talk.
Educated.
Dominique Dune, who played the original older sister Dana, met an equally tragic and unforeseen fate. In 1982, Dune separated from her partner John Sweeney. In November of that year, he showed up at Dune's house pleading for her to take him back. When she refused, Sweeney grabbed Dune's neck, choked her until she was unconscious, and left her to die in her Hollywood home's driveway. Sweeney was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, but was released after 3 years and 7 months.
Dang.
Wow.
I know.
I feel like I knew that, or maybe I'm getting that confused with somebody else.
I don't think I knew that.
That's really sad, though.
It is. It is. The other 2 cast members' deaths, while unfortunate, were not as unpredictable or mysterious. The evil preacher Kane from Poltergeist 2 was played by Julian Beck. In 1983, Beck had been diagnosed with stomach cancer, which took his life soon after he finished work on the second installment of the series. The same film was met with further tragedy after Will Sampson, who played Taylor, the Native American shaman, died after undergoing a heart-lung transplant, which had very slim survival rate.
Aww.
So, I mean, that's 4 people from the series.
That's a lot.
I feel like that's a lot. Cast deaths were not the only agents of the curses of the curse, as other peculiar and creepy legends surround the film franchise. JoBeth Williams, who played Mom Diane in the first 2 films, claimed that director Spielberg insisted on using actual human skeletons as props in an attempt to save money. At the time, they were cheaper than plastic skeletons. Honey, have you ever heard of the Dollar Tree?
It's $1.25 now. Because, inflation.
Well, back then it was probably the 75-cent tree then.
50 cents.
However, Williams' claim has never been verified. But it persists to this day in the lore surrounding the film's curse. Now, I've seen that movie. I've seen the scene. It's a scene in the swimming pool that they're talking about with the skeletons.
I feel like I had heard the same.
They look pretty real to me.
Yeah.
They look pretty real to me. I don't.
But
How did you get one? Did you just go to the
I mean,
and why would you not just pay for a fake one?
I don't know. I mean,
And was that really cutting into your budget that much?
Also,
at the time, trying to make a movie. I mean, I don't know. It just honestly, the big question is too: when did they film that scene in the movie? Because if it was in the beginning, they had a budget. If it was in the end, they didn't have shit.
Yeah.
that's probably right.
But
Also, if they swam with them in the beginning and it was all of the actual human skeletons, maybe that's why it's cursed. Because you're disrespecting.
That's what a lot of
remains.
people say. Is that was because they think that they're messing with that stuff, and you shouldn't be messing with that stuff. Then you're gonna have repercussions. So it's
Dang.
totally could have been a thing. I don't know.
Dang. Okay, I got one for you.
Okay.
And you probably know it.
Okay.
You probably read about it. But have you read about The Conjuring? Did you know about stuff that had to do with that one?
So
specifically, I think her name's Joey King.
So here's the thing. I am not a Conjuring fan. I don't like the movies. I think they're super boring.
Really?
Yes. And I don't think Ed and Lorraine Warren are super interesting.
So I think maybe that's why I like them, because, I mean, I don't know, as they were we talked about doing an episode on them too. I don't know as whether they're true or not, all of their gifts or whatever. But I think what intrigued me about The Conjurings, which is the other reason why I wouldn't watch it, was because it was based off of it had truth behind it a little bit.
Yep.
I don't know if that's true or not, but so the girl that played the little girl, it's the one with the house. It's the very first Conjuring.
I think that's the only one I've seen.
It's the
one
other
than Annabelle. I've seen Annabelle, but
it's the girl that played Gypsy Rose.
Oh, in the Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't watch The Act, but I know who you're talking about. Though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So while they were on set for The Conjuring, she started to develop this strange blood disorder, to the point that she couldn't get bruised, cut, nothing. If she did, whatever this thing she had going on, she would bleed to death or die.
Oh my.
So it was it got to be really vital that she just didn't get hurt on set. And so after they wrapped and everything, she kind of lived with this for a little bit, and then it just mysteriously went away.
Wow.
And now she doesn't have it anymore.
I mean,
I don't like that.
I do feel like, again, it kind of goes back to, I understand people wanting to make movies out of this to entertain. I think that we need to be careful with what we're messing with when we do these movies, for sure. I do appreciate that in some of the Conjuring films, they don't use a Raggedy Ann doll for Annabelle, and they made her look scary, which some may say is a gimmick. I think it's more respectful of the...
Did Annabelle look like Raggedy Ann?
Yes,
Okay.
she is a Raggedy Ann doll. Annabelle is.
I did watch the beginning of Annabelle, and then I couldn't watch it anymore after I watched
She's
the very
creepy.
beginning.
I mean, she's terrifying in the movie, but in real life, she's just Raggedy
ragdoll.
Ann doll.
Just like a normal Raggedy Ann
Yep.
doll.
But I'm glad that they didn't do
I used to have a
that.
Raggedy Ann doll. Did you?
I did not. My mom did. It's still in the attic, actually.
Don't bring it in your house. Wait, your attic or your mom's?
Oh, my mom's.
Jackie, you keep that at your house.
She's like, that's not coming home with me, honey.
You're gonna show up to your mom's on like Sunday for dinner, and she's gonna be like, Ashley. I
No,
found
she would
this
never
box.
give me her Raggedy Ann.
I found this
That was like
Raggedy
one of her
Ann.
I
first
want
dolls.
you to keep it safe for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that, yeah.
Yeah, there's just some stuff that you don't fuck with.
No.
It's like the Ouija board.
Oh my god. Okay, yes, because I remember I got a fake one.
What do you mean you got a fake one?
I got one from like Spencer's in
But-
high school.
It's like a
like
it was
whenever
like
I was
a
edgy.
Mattel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just buy them at Target.
Yeah, they're not. It's
Yeah.
not fake.
Well, yeah, okay, but I still bought like a not a fancy one.
Yeah, not the wooden
Maybe
version
it wasn't Ouija. Maybe was it just a spirit board?
Mine was
No,
a
I think
flat
it
out
said
Ouija,
Ouija
board.
board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a ton of them. I have a Ouija board tattoo.
Fuck no. That stuff's not entering my house.
See, it doesn't. That's honestly, it doesn't scare me because my mom is super into them, and she's like, "This is what you do to make sure that bad things don't happen when you mess with them." So
No, man.
I
I
always
will.
fuck it up.
I will never forget. I got it for Christmas, and I remember having a bunch of girls over at the house, and we got it out, and we were messing around with it, and like it started spelling out some stupid shit. And after that, I didn't play with it anymore. I was like, this is dumb. And then there was one night that I was in high school. Me and one of my friends. There used to be this old church in
oh no,
in Rennick.
here we go.
Yep, there used to be this old church in Rennick, and it was really run down, and it had like the old piano in it still. The pews were still in it. I don't even know when that church was even built, but we thought it would be a really brilliant idea
Oh, you brought it into the
to
house
take
of
that
the
Ouija
Lord?
board to this church.
Not the house of the Lord.
Yeah. I rebuke thee. No, we thought it would be really like a smart idea to take it into that church. And I'm not fucking playing. I had that board open and I barely set, is it called the eye or whatever?
The planchette.
piece.
Yep. I set that thing down and birds started going fucking crazy in the bell tower, and because it did have a bell tower, that's how old it was. And that thing started moving and she freaked the fuck out, ran, left me in there. I was trying to still gather my Ouija board up.
Because you're like, nah.
I'm not leaving this here. I grabbed the Ouija board. I go running out. She's pretty far ahead of me. I tripped going out of the building because there was like a lip where the door jam was. I tripped as I'm falling out of the church. She is hacking and coughing because she was running so fast that when she exited the door, this bug flew directly down her throat. And I was like, yeah, we're never doing that
Oh
again.
my god.
That would have probably scared me.
You know,
That's why I'm like, we're not those things are never entering my house.
you know, this doesn't have to do with the Ouija board, but something that Lauren talked about in another podcast. She talked about this journal that we had found at our friend Courtney's house
Yep.
when we were kids. And
Oh yeah, because you were trying to figure out if it was a real thing or not.
Yes.
so I think it was the real deal because when Courtney and I found it, we dug it up out of the ground. Like it wasn't
Yes.
we just didn't just find it. Like
it was like a rainy day.
it was a rainy day and we dug it up, and I mean it was terrifying. This journal, I don't even really remember. I just know it was scary
because
some of
she
the
lived
stuff.
in like an old schoolhouse.
Yes, and some of the entries were like creepy. Like,
Wait, where's this schoolhouse at?
kind of past the movie theater
Yeah,
out here.
Oh, okay.
On a country road.
Yeah.
It's out by what's that?
Don't want to give like an exact location, of course.
I didn't know if it was like, because there's some old there's an old schoolhouse like up towards
What is the
like Macon.
Is it?
But I didn't know if it was that
No.
far
Is
away.
it Sugar Creek Lake?
It's
around
somewhere
that
over
area.
there. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like an old country house.
I mean-
or country schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse. Yeah,
You
yeah.
could tell because it still had the old like.
Okay, so was it just like raining and you guys were like, hey, let's go dig in the yard?
I think so. I think we were cleaning something up. I think that there was trash, like a trash bag, like someone had gotten to a trash bag and we were cleaning it up. And because it was buried, but I don't remember it being like super deep.
No.
So maybe it was in an area like the dirt had washed away because of the rain.
I think so because she had like there was like a trailer on her property that no one lived in or anything. It was just abandoned and it was near that.
Yeah.
And we had dug it up. But I think that was legit.
I think it was too.
And it's scary. Like it's just weird.
Because it was like a boy,
Yes,
and like he
it
talked
was-
about like wanting to kill people and hurt people.
And it was like a green journal, like yeah. It was,
But like it wasn't like
it
one
was
of
hard
the
to read
recent
too.
ones.
No, and it was hard to read because obviously it had been in the ground for who knows how long. But like yeah, it was creepy.
Scared the fuck out of us.
Yeah, it was. So again,
Wow.
we didn't mess with it. I think we buried it again. I don't
Yeah.
think I think we read it and then put it back. We didn't read it out loud either because you know.
Yeah. Yeah. This is nothing to do with like creepy notebooks or anything, but I do have you remember me telling you this story, and I might have told it on a podcast where we were talking about the lady in the backyard. Chelsea was here and the lady, she said, I just saw a lady in white walk into your garage. Did I tell that
No.
on the podcast?
I don't remember that.
Okay. So it was like, it wasn't last year. It might have been the year before. And it was right around Halloween. It was like the month of October for sure. And Chelsea had come to hang out with me one night. And we were getting ready to go out back to sit on the stairs to smoke a cigarette. And I'm behind Chelsea. I'm getting something off the table. And she says, did you just see that? And I was like, see what? And she said, I swear I just saw somebody in white walk into your garage. And I was like, that's weird. So we go out the back door and I'm standing there. And Jasper, my cat, is, he had just jumped over the fence from the neighbor's yard. And so he's on the patio and he's like walking towards the house. And he stops in front of the garage door, which is open. He stops and he like looks into the garage. But he doesn't go into the garage, and all of a sudden the garage light kicks on.
No.
Oh,
It's a motion sensor, or it's not motion censored. It's on the garage door opener, and you actually have to like hit it, right? It's not motion censored. So the light just like popped on, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So then pretty soon Jasper walks a little bit closer to the door, and I told Chelsea, I was like, "I'm not going in there."
No.
I don't know what is in there, but I'm not going in there. And once Jasper actually walked into the garage, I was like, okay, I'll go look. There was nobody there. So I shut the light off. Aaron came home not too long after that, and I was telling him about that. He comes in the other night, and he says, you need to get your friends under control. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, they're always out there fucking with me when I'm working on my truck. And I was like, I don't know what friends? I thought he was talking about a possum. Because there's a possum loose that likes to get in the trash every once in a while. So I thought he was just being a dick and talking about a possum. He said, I will be out in the garage and I'm working. And my toolbox drawers will just open. And so he'll go close them. He'll be working on his truck. And then pretty soon it'll open again. And he's like, eventually I have to just say like, guys, just leave me alone. Let me work on my fucking truck. And they will leave the drawers alone, but the drawers will just open on their own. Gosh. I said, "What do you mean they like open in front of you, or like you're closing them and then you're walking? Yeah, and you're walking away, and then you happen to look and they're open." He said, "No, I will watch them open."
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so obviously we need to get your Ouija board.
No,
Absolutely not.
No. Gage tells me all the time that in the living room he'll see a man in a top hat.
Oh, this house is haunted.
Mm-hmm.
I can 100%. I felt it when I walked in the room.
So when we first moved in, it's very strange. When we first moved in, above each door that faced, what is that direction? West. Above each door that faced west, there was a cross.
Yeah.
over every single door.
Oh, that's
that
so
faced
true because you
west.
have one on your back door even.
Yeah, I can't get it off the wall. And there's a closet underneath the stairs. It's like a coat closet. At some point, there had been a family that lived here that was very Catholic, and there were like coloring book sheets that were pulled out, and it was like how great thou art, and somebody had colored it. But there were pages like that in the closet underneath the stairs, which was a little creepy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, there's times where I'll just be like getting ready in the morning and I will see somebody or something out of the corner of my eye in the hallway, and I'll like lean forward thinking it's one of the boys, and there's nobody there.
So
Well, but there was even there was a time that you've heard somebody upstairs.
Yes, because I called you.
Yeah.
I thought somebody broke in. I called you and I had a fucking baseball bat in my hands.
So I need to know when was this house built? Do you know?
1912.
Okay, so I mean, I love it. Everyone, this is the first time I've ever been to her house. I walked in and I was like, I love it, but I felt energy, not negative energy, but I felt energy.
Oh yeah.
Does that sound stupid?
No.
I don't want that to be stupid,
No.
but it's you just feel something.
I'm not in touch enough with myself to do that, but
I'm an empath. Oh, that sounds so. I'm an empath, but I am. And so like I feel that. I feel that whenever
I've never been scared. And I tell Aaron that all the time because when we first moved in, he refused to come into the basement by himself. He would actually take a child with him. And I was like, what are you going to do? Feed our child to whatever's down there? Like, take him, not me. And eventually he kind of got over it. But I've seen people, like there was a time that it was for like a month straight. I would just, while I was working upstairs from home, I would see people walking down the sidewalk that were not there. I could just see them out of the corner of my eye, somebody walking down the sidewalk, and I kept turning. Nobody's there. Ooh. Sometimes I will hear, which I get a little spooked out by this, I think I hear somebody say, Mom. And I know you're never supposed to be like, you're not supposed to acknowledge it, but it's kind of, it's instinct, you know, especially when you have kids. But none of the animals have ever acted funky. And, I mean, there was one time that the cat got very upset in the middle of the night at the door of the closet underneath the stairs.
Granted, yes.
But that's been the only time. But I've never felt like...
you were in danger.
It doesn't feel negative.
No.
The energy doesn't feel negative.
No.
The last house me and my mom lived in together before I became an adult, we rented it, and it was a weird house.
It was a weird house.
But we found out later on that it was an old funeral pyre, and that was haunted as hell. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I remember when after like the first year, I would be going to bed and I would hear voices in my closet, and I'd be like, "What?" I thinking it's music or something playing because I had electronics in there, and I would open it, and then everything would just stop. And it was one of those closets that it was long, and if you walked to the other end of it, it had a door that led into the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Those closets are weird to me.
They're very creepy.
Yeah.
And it was huge. But that house was scary. We had a phone in the basement that wasn't plugged into anything that would just ring randomly.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
It was weird. I mean, I wish I was making
like, who's
this up.
trying to call me?
I swear I sit here
and
and say, like, I don't know what I would do, but I've had times where things have happened here. I think the creepiest time, not for me, but for Aaron, the creepiest thing that ever happened to him, aside from the drawers in the kitchen or in the garage, was he normally goes to work at like 3:30 in the morning, and he was downstairs one morning getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden he hears the Netflix, the da-dun.
Oh gosh.
It was the living room TV turned up as loud as it would go. And he thought it was me because I was having difficulty sleeping at the time. So I would get up in the middle of the night and go watch TV downstairs. And so he thought it was me. So he was like talking, and he walked in there, and there's nobody there.
That gave me chills. That one gave me chills.
Yeah. The fact that it's turned up as loud as it would go.
And like when it's like in the middle of the night when it's
still dark outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just know when that phone rang at that old house, because my space was in the basement when we first moved in, and when that happened, I didn't go in the basement very much after that. Because that was terrifying.
That is so
like, what the
terrifying.
heck? So,
It's kind of like that one scary. What was the scary movie that had to do with the phone in the basement?
oh, the black phone with
Yes.
Ethan Hawke. Yeah, that was a weird movie. I don't know. I am very much into paranormal. It's real. I don't care what anyone
I
says. What else are you gonna do when you die? Sorry.
I think we've talked about it.
If you've
multiple
not
times.
completed something that you need to complete on this earth, you're here.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, I guess we actually talked about this last week in our episode. Oh wait, no,
Splinters
and
of
the
our-
dreams.
Oh yeah. Splinters of
Ooh.
ourselves.
That's what I was gonna talk about. The dream that I had.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So, I had a dream the other night, and like the last time I went to Lauren's house to spend the night, we were in her bedroom watching TV, and I was like, "Oh, I want to change it." And she's like, "Well, I don't have a remote, so we have to get my phone to use for the remote for the Roku." And I'm like, "Okay." So I don't know why, but like it was on my mind, and I was telling Scott about it a few nights ago. I was like, "Yeah, Lauren doesn't have a remote for her Roku in her bedroom." I don't know why I said it. It was random. That night, I had a dream that I found Lauren's remote for her Roku in her chest of drawers at her house. And so I looked at her today. I was like, I think I know where your remote is. It was in her chest of drawers at her house.
Like in the exact same drawer and everything.
She had not been able to find it. I went straight to the drawer it was in, pulled it out. Had no idea it was in there. Had just gotten to her house. How
Fucking weird.
How insane is that?
That is so strange.
He literally was like, I think I know where it's at. And he was like, can I go through your drawers? And I was like, I don't care. And he opened the exact drawer that he thought and like the exact location, and it was there.
What was the look on your face? Were you like,
I was shocked because I was like, this is just what I did in my dream. And it was really there. And like, I wouldn't have known it was there. I just got to her house. Why would it was wild.
It was very wild.
And then it didn't work. The remote didn't work. But that's okay. I still found it.
that's so fucking weird.
It was very weird. Yeah.
I've never had a dream like that ever.
I mean, I don't have them like that. I have them about people, which is even creepier.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. We'll tell you her dreams after we quit.
Yeah.
Because it's people that we know
Yeah.
that have passed. So.
Gotcha.
Weird as shit. Yeah.
But if you all want to know more about cursed films, there is a series on Amazon. I think it's Amazon on Shudder. Cursed Films. There's 2 seasons of it. I watched both seasons, and it's very interesting. So check it out if you want to know more.
I love that shout out.
That was such a good little shout out.
Shout out.
Amazon, if you want to sponsor us, throw us money, please.
Like, but for real.
Yeah, honestly. This was such a good little episode.
I agree.
Your script was fantastic. You did great.
Oh, thanks. I hope I didn't ramble too much.
No, such a good first guest, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Absolutely.
I love it, but I love you.
I love you guys. I'm so glad you had me here.
It was so fun. That wraps up today's episode. You can find us wherever you get your podcast.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, give us a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you can get an alert every time a new episode drops. So, tap that app. Tap that app.
We'll see you next week, but in the meantime,
Stay strange, my friends.